back to Free Speech Nation. Film director Kip Andersen has become well known of late after making three of the most successful documentary films of recent times. They include What the Health, executive produced by Joaquin Phoenix, Cowspiracy, executive produced by Leonardo DiCaprio, and Seaspiracy, about the environmental impact of fishing. And he now has a film called Christspiracy, which looks at the link between animal ethics and religions. Let's have a look.
Is there any threat or danger making a film like this?
Yeah, you just wait and see. You just wait and see. They will stop at nothing to keep this truth from getting known.
Is there a spiritual way to kill an animal? I'll put it this way. How would Jesus kill an animal?
And film director Kip Andersen joins me now to tell us more. Kip, thanks so much for joining us here today on Free Speech Nation. Can I ask you, there's a very intriguing trailer that you've got there. It's almost as though you're not telling us the full story. Can you tell us a bit more about what the documentary explores?
Yeah, thank you, Andrew, for having me on. Yes, well, as you mentioned, Cowspiracy and Seaspiracy explored the environmental impacts of raising and killing billions of animals in the ocean, trillions. And What the Health explored the health impacts of raising and killing so many animals and then consuming them. This film explores the ethical impacts of raising and killing 70 billion animals per year and how that ties into religion. Where did this all begin? That right now we're killing the equivalent of the entire world's population 10 times over every single year. Where did this begin? And there's a tie to religion, which is incredibly fascinating.
Now, I saw when you were fundraising for this project that you'd rescued 2 baby lambs from a halal farm. How are they getting on?
They're getting along great. Yes, thank you. Yeah, we're doing a Kickstarter campaign, which you'll probably mention. This was a Netflix original, but we've moved ways from Netflix with this film. So we're doing a Kickstarter campaign, creating history, really. And your viewers can jump in. We have 1 more week left to go to fund for this.
Fantastic. Can I ask you about that, Kip? Was there some sort of conflict with Netflix? Because obviously you've had such success with them before. I know that there's a lot of people who don't want you to make this film. Am I reading too much into this?
Well, no, I'm so grateful for Netflix. I love Netflix. So grateful for all they've done. This film is a difficult one. Anytime you're bringing in religion and you're bringing in killing animals and the ethics of eating and consuming animals, you're bringing some very powerful industries in there. And we wanted to tell the story in a particular way. It's such a sensitive topic, and long story short, they wanted to go one direction. We wanted to go deeper in the direction we were going, and we understand why they would want to, but we felt very strongly this film had to be told in a certain way to have the most impact. So we stayed surprisingly very, very strong and true and walked away from the Netflix original, which I'm not sure how many times has been done, but we boldly have done that.
But you wanted to tell the story in your own way, and you needed that freedom to have the independence to do it. Well, I think that's a really interesting approach to take. But it is a very complicated issue, isn't it? And you are in very murky ethical territory when it comes to the killing of animals for ritual purposes, because, of course, then you're potentially opening yourself up to being accused of criticising people's religious freedom. Do you think that's right?
Well, the thing with this film, along with the other films, what we do is we ask questions. We ask theologians, we ask, in this film, archaeologists, theologians, Oxford professors. This actually film is a lot based in England, with the intellectual and the knowledge base of the history of this. But we really are sensitive with this because we don't want to judge anyone's religion or anyone's beliefs. We just want to ask questions. Where did this come from? What is the history of this? Where does not only Jesus, where does Buddha tie into this? Because there's a direct link, and I can't give too much away, but we definitely are very respectful for everybody's decisions.
Now, my understanding is that with the Kickstarter, you've actually increased the amount that you want to try and reach now. I think you want to go up to $500,000. But that is still very cheap compared to sort of how much Hollywood films cost these days. But will you be hoping to make improvements to the film with greater support from the people who are going to be watching it?
We are, yes. This is just kind of the bare bones. We're looking to raise as much as we can because, yes, these big Hollywood films, you know, they have tens, millions of dollars in budget into creating a theatrical release, which is one of our big goals, is do a theatrical release next year. We feel with the strong following and the strong the strong fans that we have and everyone who's really interested in this topic, we're going to be able to do a viral sensation where everybody, it's one of these films like the other ones. When one person watches it, they tell 10 people, and it goes on and on and on. This one is going to be, they tell 108 people. So
yeah,
we really feel confident that's how it's going to go.
So Kip, can I ask you, how do you approach making a documentary? Does it come from a place of passion, a particular theme or a topic that you're particularly interested in and you just delve into it? Or do you sometimes start not really knowing what the outcome will be?
This one, more than the last previous films, I didn't know where it was going to end up. I knew, you know, Christspiracy was 10 years ago. At that time, that film was going to be the environmental, health, and ethical impacts of raising and killing, as I said, billions of animals, trillions that include the ocean. And I kind of knew the direction where that was going. This one was a full exploration. We went all around the world, and it was, you know, one of the biggest reveals when you see the film. That was a surprise to us, and then to have it validated by, you know, Oxford professors, theologians. This is a massive film beyond just the genre of say, animal ethics. This is a film that really will rewrite what it means to be Christian and early Christianity. It's a big one.
Yeah, well, it sounds very, very intriguing, and I can't wait to see it. Just remind us before you go, how can people participate in donating to your Kickstarter?
So, yeah, so GB News viewers, they have just a few more days left to be part of history. They can go to Kickstarter and search Christspiracy. The whole word's Christspiracy, the sustainability secret. And we have incredible perks for anyone who joins. And you get early access. That's a great thing. You get early access even before it goes in the theaters. So you'll be able to get in the know before anyone else. And you'll get to know the secret before anyone else.
Well, Kip Andersen is a fascinating project. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you so much, Andrew.
So it sounds very interesting, and it is always an ethical minefield, isn't it, this issue of religious freedom versus animal rights, particularly when it comes to religious ritual slaughter, which can be particularly painful for the animals, and then you are in murky territory.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I know which side I naturally fall on,
yes.
But I don't know whether that's the right side.
What side is that, Cressida?
The animal side.
Yeah, of course, of course.
I'm a softie like you. I don't eat meat, and...
And you used to have a baby lamb?
I did, yeah. I did some backpacking, worked on a sheep farm, and raised a couple of lambs.
You see, that's what kind of thing. Once you've met lambs,
yeah,
it's very difficult to cut them up and eat them.
Yeah, but you can say that about dogs as well, and we eat dogs.
You eat dogs.
Jonathan,
it's
you
not
are
the norm,
a dog.
Jonathan.
I'll stop eating dogs. No, what do I think? So basically, I learned about the laws of kashrut or kosher as a kid, and from what I understood, the whole point was the ritual slaughter would be done in a way that you respect the animal, obviously you're killing it, and you try and kill it in a way that's as painless as possible.
Right.
That's what's commanded. Obviously now, with modern technological advancements, you're probably not doing it in the most painless way, and it seems really brutal compared to the other options. So
yes.
I can see why there's obviously a big
Would you
discussion
watch
around it.
Kip's film?
No, he seemed like a rad dude. He seemed like
rad dude?
He seemed like a cool guy.
What kind of phrase is that?
He's obviously a rad dude. Look at him.
I don't think I've ever used the phrase rad dude. I don't think I can get away with it.
I don't think I can get away with
If
it.
I heard it, Kip is exactly what I would picture. Yeah, cowabunga, etc.
Exactly.
Well, it sounds
cowabunga.
It sounds
Nice.
like a film I quite want to see. Okay, well, anyway, next on Free Speech Nation,